We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. This is Theo Riddick, and he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch. They go back to Riddick. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. For the 49ers, their starters defensively, and I got to look at DeForest Buckner.
Love him. Tall, angular. What you worry about with guys like that is can they bend and play with leverage? And DeForest Buckner absolutely can. Did everything that was asked of him at Oregon. He's going to have a big-time career with the 49ers.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford surveying the field. To the right side to Eric Ebron. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
If anyone ever has any doubt that tight ends are primary targets nowadays, just watch this play. He's back in the pocket, finds his guy, and they get a nice gain out of it.
Yeah, simple little completion out into the flat. This is taken at the 23. Oh, the spin. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. $12 yards to go on 3rd down. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. And this is complete. It's Marshall. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Keith Marshall standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. We get a look now at the 49ers defense as they get into position. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense. They say, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And the defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. The tackle there by Eli Harold.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. Stafford on third down. Got a man open. It's Brian Quick. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Ebron's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Ebron with it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the 1st quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw.
False start, offense.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Stafford looks to throw again. He finds Quick. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can right foot in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Down and 12. Stafford on 3rd and goal. This will be caught at about the 6. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Kaepernick again here on 2nd and 10. On the left side, this is Stills. Touchdown, 49ers. Kenny Stills with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Ebron caught left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Here's Riddick. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. 1 quarter in the books. 14-3, that's our score. We're back to Santa Clara after this. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Now Riddick. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Riddick with a carry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Controlling the passing lanes.
He hits Riddick underneath. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Finding time. All kinds of time. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He'll return it from the 6. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. Here's Marshall, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They come out here in the eye. They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Kaepernick looking to throw, 3rd and 2. And he's got his man on the out route. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They'll run for it with Marshall. And he's got some space here. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, 49ers. Keith Marshall with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times, we're trying to win a game.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. And that was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. To throw is Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
False start, offense.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Eric Ebron, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but some...
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's it's intercepted. Christian Jones, the one who picked it. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Now Stafford. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Here's Stafford now on second down. He's got time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. He finds Quick. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Brian Quick, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. San Francisco gets set to go here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way.
Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Kaepernick throwing on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. Kaepernick now on 1st down. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Kaepernick now on 1st down. And this is caught at the 8. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Again, they'll throw with Kaepernick. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Now Kaepernick again. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin in the final seconds of the first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. The final shot before the break, Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we send you cross-country now, my apologies, Larry. I wanted to hear the report. Somebody's in a hurry, so we're going to get them right to quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. They'll run with Marshall. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Now Marshall. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This is Marshall. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll cut it to the left sideline. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. I guess that's what happens when you give the current NFL rushing leader that much room.
And when you do, all you're doing is solidifying his standing at the top of the leaderboard. He's going to continue to get more and more yards. Good luck trying to chase him down.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll throw with Kaepernick. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Ezekiel Ansah. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So the sack means it's 3rd and goal now from the 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it 1st and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
And he'll go on the ground. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Gerald Hodges in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. First down is Kaepernick. And he whips that one incomplete there. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And now it's 2nd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look over to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll need to get the play off quickly. On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. Eluding the pressure right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? I think that's what went down. I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do agree.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, Now you've stopped the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
They'll come out in the pistol. On second down, here's Kaepernick. Flushed out right. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room.
Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the fourth and final quarter. And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the fourth.
This is taken at the 3. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Here's Stafford. He's got time in the pocket. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
To the air again, Stafford. He's got quick. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Encroachment defense. Still third down.
And they only need a little bit here. Third down and very short. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
Oh, man. 4th down and 1, and you're on your own side of midfield? That takes a little bit of courage to pull off, but they went ahead and snapped it, and it'll work out for them as they get the first down.
Throwing is Stafford, surveying the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A gain of 3, second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
And he's going to go down. It's a sack on Kaepernick. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Through. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 8 yards to go here on second down. Alone to the right is Jones. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. To throw is Stafford. Finding time. Caught on the right side by Jones. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the 49er hands team does its job. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, 91.
Kaepernick to throw on second down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away.
And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So the offense has it 1st and 10. A strong running. And they'll go with the ground attack here. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, 49ers. Keith Marshall, 54 yards. And the 49ers add on to their lead. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
Here's Tate to return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like...
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarkwiski Tart. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it. And you have to ask the defense.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Vance McDonald, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. It only took Stafford 90 games to hit 25,000 yards in his career, fastest ever, and he adds to that yardage total there.
I'm not sure anyone in the league has a more confident arm than Matthew Stafford does. He can wait until they're actually open before delivering, as opposed to anticipating them being open because of the strength of his arm, and he doesn't mind showing it off.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Set. Lady.
One last throw here for Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football.